So we started off at the Silver Palace booth, right? They sponsored me for this. They wanted me to do I wanted to get pictures with the cosplayers. This was the male cosplayer. They did a fantastic job. I'm pretty sure this was a female though doing the male cosplay, which was kind of surprising to me because she's very tall. She had heels on, admittedly, but then we had the female detective, who was also incredible. Then I got pictures with the I forget his name. God, I don't remember his name. It was also very cool. Why don't you do leaks? So I'm sponsored by literally, I was sponsored by 12 different studios here, and I'm sponsored like with early access for games. I'm sponsored for beta tests for games. If I cover a leak, no access ever again. If I get known for covering leaks, let's say I cover the Silver Palace leaks, no Midasy access. You know, no early Nikke 2 access, a new Nikke gacha, no access to Kudo's new gacha game for beta tests or, you know, anything under an NDA, no sponsored showcase appearances at conventions, nothing. Because now I'm violating the terms of service and no company wants to work with me. How much did you pay to get within? I was paid to be up here with the cosplayers, chat. So we got a lot of great pictures, great video with the cosplayers as well, which was really cool. And then, so the gameplay specifically, and we're there with Pokey, by the way. I got Pokey in. Pokey did not have access or sponsorships with Silver Palace, so I took him backstage. I had a +1. Pokey was essentially my +1. Can you leave the video audio intact for the convention? So I got Pokey in there, and then we got footage of the entire demo, chat. The entire thing from start to finish. We're there for multiple days. We played through the entire demo. So I believe this is part 1. So we had this beautiful intro cinematic. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit though. Where we're introduced to the queen. And then we're introduced to the female protagonist. She was a munchkin, yes. Actually, I don't know if I should leave the audio intact because there is copyrighted music playing. And then, so we're introduced to the female protagonist. We have this epic transformation here. And then we're actually shown the male protagonist as well. So these are both two characters, chat, that exist. You're not choosing a gender like Rover. You know, you choose male Rover or female Rover and then you play as that Rover. No, these are both characters that you play as. You know, it's not the detective. There is the guy and then there is the girl. So they're siblings and they both have a story. So what I believe is, because we're having the upcoming beta test is called a dichotomy test. And I don't know if y'all know what dichotomy means, but it's essentially like the reverse or the opposite of something. So in the first beta test, you actually played as the female. And then if you saw the trailer for the dichotomy test, it looks like it's from the perspective of the male. So what a dichotomy is something that is the opposite, right? So the opposite boobs. That was sick, by the way, chat. So the test phase is going to be from the perspective of the male, I'm assuming. That's what it meant by dichotomy test. So this boss was actually so sick, chat. Right? It popped out. It popped out. Like this. And it was so freaking cool. And then a second boss pops out. The female detective's like, what? And then like, this shit starts happening, man. Like, you know how crazy this was to have two bosses? This was dark and messed up as hell. I saw a glimpse of your... Yeah, I know. Like...
Oh my god.
Do you hear Mrs. Stix?
Oh my god.
that pretty much summarized our impressions of a chat.
Oh my god.
She looked at that and she was like, oh my god. Then it picks up the queen. It's about to mess her up. And then we get messed up. And then the male character comes in. He's like, let's do this. So you take on take it on from the perspective of the female. Let's skip to part 2 real quick. This is when the fight actually takes place. There are epic finishing moves like this, by the way, as well, which is really, really cool. Like you can, I don't know how they trigger. It might be when you break them. I'm not entirely sure, but you can essentially run up and use, like, I think it was your F key to perform a finishing blow, which was like, that's actually kind of sick. And I keep looking at the camera because I'm like, look how cool this looks. And the ultimate abilities look way more fleshed out, by the way, chat. Way cooler. Cinderella herself is, dude, she was so much fun to play with. When did it become a horror game? Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, look at this. Look at the boss in the background. They're literally fighting. Like, at first, I thought that the character or the boss was actually just like attacking me. But then after playing it, I realized the boss, look at that. The one with the horns, the horny chick over there, she beat up the unhorny chick. She squished her to the ground, and look at this. Look at her messing. Look at, she grabbed her head. Look, what's this? She smashed it into the ground. She's using her as a fucking weapon. Look at this. Look how crazy this boss. She's smashing her head into the ground. It is wild, right? I'm like, I'm in the game. I'm focused. My head is completely in the game, dude. Awesome, violent. It is. She mounted her like I do, Mrs. Stix, and then she's like laser beaming you like fucking Superman. And then I'm beating up that chick, and I'm like, oh, you know what? Maybe in retrospect I should be. And you can. The parry is still very much there. You can see the golden aura around the parry. So you have to parry that. You have to parry. Look, here's the finishing move. Each character has their own unique finishing move, chat. So she had one where she like did a backflip with her legs spread, which, you know, it's a weird way of describing it, but that's what she did. And then now I think the horny chick is on the ground. Yeah, the frigid one. I mean, it's also kind of weird calling them frigid because that has a double meaning, but frigid also means cold. So the frigid chick is just like, wee, doing this. And it's literally, you have to dodge and parry the abilities as they're happening. And then, let me skip through a little more to where I get to the end of the boss fight. So I use my ultimate here. I think she's pretty much dead at this point. No. Okay, she's almost dead at this point. And then, okay, she dies about, like, this boss fight is so sick, by the way. Both bosses are evil. I'm not entirely sure. Don't clip shit. Someone clipped that. So they are smashing each other. And look at this. Watch this. Look at this. Look how crazy this is. This is just... That's footage of Mrs. Stix slamming Stix's head on the toilet seat. Valid. This was so sick. But this is even cooler, chat. Because the two characters are both established characters, both genders. Watch this. There is a wombo combo team attack. Watch. Look at this. Look at this. He just throws the girl at her. And that was the end of the first fight. Looks like a normal battle between titans in the Attack on Titan anime. I was actually very impressed. Because that was so good. Yo, I don't mean to interrupt the video, but I need to take a moment here to thank all my incredible patrons over on Patreon whose support continues to allow for me to do regular videos like this every single day on this channel. Thank y'all so much, including our YouTube channel members. You guys mean the world to me. So do you guys as viewers as well. Now, without further ado, let's continue. Then after that, we were... Wait, I think this is the intro. After that, we were taken to the world. And we got to see the different characters. So I zoomed into each of them to give everyone kind of a look. Why are they kissing? What are they doing? The name is literally translate to life and death. Oh, okay. Wait, you play both of them at the same time and you just choose which you fight at the moment? What, you mean the genders, the main characters? No, I think they're actually like fragmented stories. So like chapter 1 is female, chapter 2 is male, chapter 3 is like female, 4 is male, like that. That's what I think is gonna happen. I don't know for sure, but I do know that they're played differently. They're not the same character. What are we looking at? We're looking at the different characters that were available in the demo. So, and then we have the male character. They're the 4 characters that were available in the demo. And I know people were like, Stix, talk about the gacha. Talk about the gacha. Why aren't you talking about the gacha? Why are you covering up the gacha? And I'm like, because there was no gacha in the demo. There was no gacha in the first beta. There was no gacha in the demo. There was no publicly available, accessible gacha system. And now you can also see the world is different. You see these little orange portal-like objects that are scattered around the rooftops. I don't know what those are. I actually tried flying into them. You can probably see this here. I flew up, and it's a physical object, but I couldn't like fly through them, and I couldn't interact with it while on the Pegasus. So I don't know if I don't know what this is, but this is a new addition. There are new features and new mechanics present in this demo, chat, that were not present in the beta. Now there were definitely still some performance issues, 100%. Yo, Zach, what's up? Is it similar to Do It Night Abyss? That is what I assume it's gonna be. Yeah, similar to Do It Night Abyss. Then after that, I think this is it. This is the next part. Yeah, so we're exploring here. I think Mrs. Stix takes over soon. So at this juncture, you see her looking left to right. It's because they had the DPI like at 3. Rotating your camera was atrocious. Like you couldn't raise it. You know, the sensitivity of your camera. Maybe they're decorations. It could be. That could be the case. You have to make an announcement on the Discord because of the leaks on the gacha. I don't cover the leaks. Like, you know, I never cover leaks. I don't support covering of leaks, especially by content creators. So as you saw there, chat, we had a Watch Dogs-like style thing where you can actually investigate every single NPC. They have personality types. They have unique things that like Race Trainer wants to own a reactor. So, you know, he's the CEO of Hoyoverse. And you'll find monsters out in the street that you can encounter. They turn into werewolves, I think, right? Wait, no. The werewolves are the ones that you investigate and then you find them out. So these are just normal NPCs. The combat has been smoothed out so much, Chad. So much. It's crazy. How much time were you allowed at the PC? Every normal person was allowed 30 minutes. We were given as much time as we needed on multiple days to acquire all the footage necessary. Because we were sponsored, we had as much time as we wanted. We did not have a timer at all. Here's Mrs. Stix also trying to figure out what this is. We're both very confused. Let's see. Here I think she enters into... Okay, yeah, she opens a treasure chest. And then she's just exploring. She attacked, you know, some random civilians in the street. She's a lot meaner than I am. I was just exploring. She's going around, like, attacking everyone, chat. Okay, here, I think this is when the person turns into a werewolf. It's coming up. So she investigates kyphosis. No visible injuries, no tattoos. Alert. Look at this. Look at this. Threat level B. And then it just transforms into a werewolf. That was sick. Does do one spend a loose 50K on AI research? Double down. I have no idea, man. Holy lag. Yeah, it does lag a little bit. So flooding leak stuff would be stopped and not be spoken about. Okay, I appreciate that. So that is the werewolf system, like the investigation system, how you can find them like that. That's all. That is very cool. I think this is more just running around. Yeah, fighting monsters, running around, kind of learning the characters. And then over here, Mrs. Stix, I believe she found a boss. So she went and fought the boss. I think this is a boss. Maybe not. No, it definitely is. It's a harpy boss, yeah. So she went and fought that. Then after that, she actually... Oops. She, So she did a lot. She actually fought, like, a ton of things. Like, then she fought this dude. And she was trying to use the male character because she wanted to kind of show him off a little bit. And this boss fight was very cool as well. We're actually very we're very hyped to see so many of the characters out in the world, like so many of the fights out in the world. And again, there are some FPS issues, but that's because the game still needs to be optimized. This is only a demo phase. And then finally, we did Mrs. Stix did the Cinderella fight, which is very much so like the beta experience where you fall out of the carriage and then Cinderella gets upset with you. And then I believe the mechanics for the Cinderella fight were pretty much the same, just smoother animations overall. And outside of just some more exploration and some more testing of the mechanics, because we're trying to test like animation canceling, iframing, dodges and parries, and then we're trying to test out like the different features and mechanics in the world, like just trying to see how it all felt. And like even at one point, I think it's let me see if I can find it. I think it's right here. Wait, is it? Hold on. Maybe it's, no, it must have been earlier then. Because Mrs. Stix was fighting Cinderella. And Cinderella kicked Mrs. Stix to the ground. And Mrs. Stix had to like, you know, mash the F button or something to stand up. And she's like, oh no, she has me on the ground. I gotta hit F. And she's like, wait, do I want to? She's just stepping on me. I kind of want that to continue. And then we finished the game. We finished the entire demo. We did everything. We stayed there for quite a while. And then that was it. Finished the game. Hours and hours worth of content just in the demo. And there's going to be a ton more available in the beta. This was so much fun. Genuinely, it was so much fun. The angle of Cindy stepping on you is kind of spicy. It is. It's even better in this, man. And then after all this was said and done, we had the cosplayer here come on over, because again, we were sponsored for this, right? So we had the cosplayer come on over, and they had us take video footage with her. So it was very awkward because I didn't know, like, so I grew up with 3 sisters and a mother, right? So, you know, I'm not gonna touch a female cosplayer or another female content creator without permission. Like, I go in for a handshake when I meet them. They all just so happen to hug me, but you know, I'm gonna be respectful, because I think it's disrespectful just touching a cosplayer without their permission, or a female content creator without their permission. So I didn't really know what to expect here. I just kind of went in and was like, I'm gonna just stand here and like be like, whoa, look at her. So that was me, right? And this is what happened. She grabs me, like she puts her hand on my shoulder, and then she grabs me. She goes, do this. And I was like, okay. And she's like, here. And she's like, connects it. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So she like pulls me into her, right? While doing the heart. And then she like rolls back and forth, smiles, looks at me, right? And then starts emoting. And I'm like, yo, look at that. And then she looks at me and she starts frowning at me, right? And then this. And then this. So I'm like, oh shit, she's doing something. She's doing something. And then she looks back at me, she's like, no. And I'm like, I'm not doing it, I swear. And then she starts, you know, pouting and doing a little, whatever the hell that is. And then she like looks at me and I'm looking down at her. And I'm like, yo, I'm so sorry. Yeah, it's not my fault. And she starts crossing her arms, stamping her foot. And I'm like, yo. So then I get down, I'm like, I'm so sorry. I love you. You're incredible. So like, I was trying to be respectful. And then she does that, chat. How did Mrs. Stix react to this? So,
why can't it be me?
Did you hear that, chat? Hold on. Okay, babe, again.
Why can't it be me?
Did you hear that? Did you hear how she reacted to that, chat? So, that's how she reacted. And then you can just see all this in my sponsored video, by the way, chat. If y'all watched the sponsored video I did on Silver Palace, you can see all this. So she's like, why can't it be me? And you know what happens? This happens. She goes like this to Mrs. Stix, and I'm like, oh shit, oh god. So I grab the camera from Mrs. Stix, and she's like, grab my hand, and Mrs. Stix is like, okay, look at her. Mrs. Stix gets treated like an absolute queen. She did. Yo, she got... The cosplayer was scolding me and pouting and everything. Look at Mrs. Stix, dude. She grabs her hand and then Mrs. Stix is like, oh. And then the cosplayer literally, and I go in and she's just standing there and...
She blew on my hair, too.
She blew on Mrs. Stix's hand, chat. She's going... gently onto her hand. And Mrs. Stix didn't know how to react either. None of us knew how to react. We're just like, holy fuck, this girl is good. And then she puts her head down further. She comes in and blows. That's so wild. I know. And then Mrs. Stix is like, you can get up. And she bows. Like, how insane is that? And she bows again. Like, I'm convinced that Mrs. Stix is a baddie magnet. So that was insane, chat.
Chat, all it took was me saying how beautiful they all looked and how amazing they did.
For real. Mrs. Stix would just be like, oh my god, you're so pretty. And then they'd go over to her and be like, you're mine. Every time. We have so many videos and images of all the cosplayers just like pulling her in and taking pictures. And Mrs. Stix is like, I was just saying you're pretty. You wish you were as cool as Mrs. Stix. Yo, come on, man. The RP is insane. She's in her role, yeah. She wanted Mrs. Stix, no lie. So did I. That's why I married her. How does she do it? I need notes. You just have to be pretty yourself and then tell them they're pretty, and then that's it. It was wild, man. It was actually so freaking cool. The Silver Palace thing, just Now, Silver Palace overall, I think was very good, very polished. So, unsponsored opinion, as I always give it, the demo for Silver Palace was so much better, was vastly improved, and I'm really excited to get to play the upcoming beta test for it because it really genuinely was so good. They have improved so many things. The combat, they have more intricately designed mechanisms in play, so you don't just have to parry. Instead, you have the ability to dodge, you have the ability to combo your abilities because they're character synergies. These weren't present in the beta test, the first beta, but they're present in this one. So, I mean, they've added like additional layers to the combat itself, the gameplay, to make it more, I think, exciting and not one-dimensional. So that was really cool. The smoothness of the gameplay, the smoothness of the animations, the world, everything was just a stark contrast in terms of quality. It was so much better overall, I think. So again, I'm not going to talk about the gacha rates. I saw people discussing it on Twitter, and I immediately went and looked for an official reveal, an official confirmation. I got nothing at all. I couldn't find anything that was actually officially confirmed by the devs themselves or the publisher. I asked the staff members at the booth what the gacha was like, and it was unconfirmed because it's all a work in progress right now. Whatever you saw could be very, very different to whatever the actual real version ultimately is. Things are constantly changing. Things could get a lot better. Things could get a lot worse. I don't know. Honestly, I don't care. I'm gonna wait and see what happens. If the gacha ultimately turns out being terrible, you know what? I will cover it. I'll do a dedicated video saying, you know, this is an issue. I did it with Arknight's Enfield. I had a 70% like ratio because people were... I didn't say Enfield's gacha was shit. I just said Enfield's gacha could be better, you know? Like if the 120 guarantee carried over, I think that would have made it so much better. And I noted, you know, that is the case. There were a bunch of people that got upset with it, but I didn't care because at the end of the day, I don't care, right? I'm sponsored, but I will still talk shit. I'm not going to attack the company or attack the game, but I will still be completely genuine and honest. If I have an issue with it, I will say so. And if it can be improved, I will say so. I'm not hiding things just because I'm paid for videos. I think ultimately though, the game is going to be a lot better than I thought it was going to be based off of what I played. So I have very high hopes and very high expectations. I am going to be streaming the second beta. They are sponsoring me for videos and streams for the second beta. But it's just a random dude that said it and it became a game of telephone. There is nothing confirmed. Like, I don't know how whatever information got revealed. I know you think that you just hit the end of the video, and technically, yeah, you have. And I know your first reaction is to close out of it at this juncture, but don't. No, instead, I urge you to take a moment here and click one of the videos on screen that are coming up in just a moment so you remain up to date with everything going on in the gacha genre. Trust me, you're not going to regret doing so. Stay flaccid.